Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40 midfield. 40 30 to the coast. 20 15. Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. Come on, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you watch this on our mobile app, please don't tell me you didn't know we had our own mobile app. Come on, man. What your problem is? Listen, we have our own mobile app. So listen, wherever you get your apps from, it doesn't matter where you get them from, all right? You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Yeah. Now, if you're watching this on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us this favor. All right, do us this favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel right to your television. All right, do it. You like that? Do it. Okay, put us there. Put us there right next to the big boys. Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Max, Apple TV, Stars, Paramount Plus. Put us there, right there next to all the big boys, okay? You can watch us on the big screen. Hell, you're on the big screen, right, Mickey, Vicky, now. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI, at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online. Want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. All right. Listen, we have a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching this on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. let's check out the hotline right now, the thread, because it seems like it's jumping a little bit this morning on a Friday. Ooh, little bit. Cornelius Squalls, what up? Sports owners, Thomas Brown had another impressive press conference. I like this guy. Very true, Cornelius, but press conferences don't win games. So I like what he says. We got to do. Remember, they still only scored 19 points. So he's got to do a better job of getting this offense rolling. But I do agree with you. I like his presence. I like the way he commands the room. I like his aura. I like it. Mr. Shorty checking in. Good morning, Papa. He says, good morning, Cornelius. I could not agree more. Very impressive dude. I see why he reminds some people of Tomlin. Okay. Mr. Shorty says, top of the morning to yours truly. Top of the morning to you, Mr. Shorty. How you doing? Michelle Walls in the Mickey Ficky house at the Mickey Ficky TGIF. Baby. I hear you, baby. I hear you. Man. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Brandon Schutz checking in. What's up, Papa? Good morning. He says, good morning. Happy Friday. Yes, it is a happy Friday. Jay Grizz back in the house. Back by popular demand. Jay Grizz is in the house, baby. What's going on, Papa? Thank you. Appreciate you for tuning in. Yay. Jay Grizz in the house. I like it. Let's see. It's not on the screen. What's not on the screen? I'm not sure what you're saying, Brandon. Anyway, listen. I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. Mr. Shorty, what you probably miss? What you probably miss? Brandon Schutz, the Smoke Fellas are on Saturday. They're on tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1. Listen. Is it safe to say that all of us have been to a barbershop? All right. Like a barbershop. Not like we're, fashion cuts. Or any of those little things that you have in Jewel. Okay, no, like a barbershop. That's the vibe that the Smoke Fellas put out. They do it for them. It's like talking in the cigar lounge, where they are every weekend. Okay, and it doesn't get. If you've tuned in, can I get a witness? If you tuned into the Smoke Fellas, tell me that's not the vibe you get. Tell me it's not laid back, chill, raw, and uncut. Tell me. If you have not checked out the Smoke Fellas, make sure you do that. Every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1. I know it's a tough time because college football is starting at 11, but I'll tell you what, give it a whirl. Or check it out. All right, like on a Sunday morning or even Monday. But I'll tell you what, check out the Smoke Fellas. Man, they are as real gets. Jay Grizz, and I'd like to give a happy birthday shout out to my little prince, Emilio, who turns 8. Emilio, happy birthday, Papa. Make sure Dad gets you some really, really expensive gifts. Tell you what, an authentic on-field jersey. Oh, man. Good. Hey, take care, little man. I know you will, Jay Grizz. I know you will. That's awesome. That's great stuff. Brandon Stutz says, I like the show there. Don't tell them that they're doing a good show. I told you, that is one of the, man, that is a great show we have. And I really, really am fortunate that they're with us. They got a flow. And again, it's just like us talking sports since we've been talking since we were kids. And that's the appeal about it. And I like it. But yeah, more of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. I can't promise you a lot, but that I can promise you. Okay? And so we got a great show Great show for you. My man Chris Tubbs from WCCO Radio up in Minneapolis is going to give us a call. We're going to preview Bears-Vikings with a Viking fan, and Chris and I have been friends for a while. What, 4 years, 5 years now? And I always reach out to him when we play the Vikings. Says he's on his shit, man. He's on it. That's great. Gives great analysis, and I'm looking forward to. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be great stuff. My man, Chris Tubbs. Jay Gris says, thanks, Superback. I didn't mean for you to pressure me into my pockets, though. Hey, I want to make sure the little man gets his due. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's all he's 8. What makes an 8-year-old's birthday? All right. Cool gifts, expensive gifts, probably a party. So he's in what, 6, 7, 8. He's going into 3rd grade. First, second, third. He's 3rd grade or going into 3rd grade, right? Give or take. Yeah, man. You want to show off stuff that your dad got you. Oh, look at my dad's better than your dad. My dad's better than your dad. Look what he got me. You know how kids are at that age. James Ford checking in. What's up, bye-bye? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. My man Luis Mejia checking in. Good morning, Rise and Grind. It is Friday. TGI Mickey Vicky Friday. Thank God. It's Friday. Whew. Whew. And a game last night was one for the ages. What a game. Whoo, Charlie, that was a game. Out on the mistake by the lake, Cleveland. What did Joakim say? I never heard anyone say they're going on vacation in Cleveland. And he's right. Who the hell wants to go to Cleveland? He's second going into 3rd. All right, cool. I got my math right. I remember I was a teacher, so I'm like, all right, 6 years old, you're 1st grade. And you go off of that. Dope. But I do want to go to Cleveland. Just to see the ballpark. And I want to check out the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If there's anything else in Cleveland for me to go see, let me know. But I don't think what the hell else is there. What other reason is there to go to Cleveland? I don't need to go see the Cavs. Damn sure ain't going to see the Indians. What else is there in Cleveland to go see besides the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? That's it. That's all I want to go see. And maybe the baseball stadium. I guess I'd go there just to say I've been to that stadium. What do you say, Jay Grizz? Don't you ever blaspheme on here again, Jay Grizz. Ever again in your vida, bro. Don't do that. We play this weekend, baby. We play tomorrow. Got my ticket. Give me money for a ticket. I got my ticket for that game. It's going to be at St. Rita. You guys got us earlier in the season, 28-14. It reminds me a little bit of my senior year in 1988, where we faced in the state semifinals. Although that year, this is how crazy it was that year. That year was a squad. The Final Four, it was us versus Mount Carmel, East St. Louis, and I can't remember who East St. Louis played. We were 12-0. Mount Carmel was 12-0. East St. Louis was 12-0. And I forgot who they were playing, but whoever it was playing East St. Louis, they were 11-1. That was back my senior year in high school. There was one loss between all 4 teams. And we knew the winner of us, Mount Carmel, was going to take the chip. Because East St. Louis, they had an easier draw. They weren't that good that year. It was one of the years that they were down, but they were still better than everybody else coming out of in their draw, in their bracket. So that was really the game. And unfortunately, we lost 18-7. I had I had the only touchdown run, a 33-yard touchdown run to put us up 7-0. I only got the ball 7 times. I was a Catholic League Player of the Year, and our head coach only decided to give me the ball in the mud and slop 7 times. My mom still can't forgive that dude. She moved out to Orland years later. I was living in New York at the time. And I called her, and she goes, "You'll never guess who I ran into." I was like, I don't know, because there's a lot of people who grew up in that area who moved out to Orland Tinley Park. All right. It's like, "Your coach, Todd Wernett." I was like, "Oh, yeah?" She goes, "Did you say hi?" He's like, "No." She goes, "I just walked by and ignored him." I was like, "You told him, Mom. You told him." Bobby Sanders, no, he was a little after that. What was your running back's name? No, I'm a little older than them. Bobby Sanders and Simeon Rice and Donovan. I'm a little older than them. Nairobi Allen. That was your running back's name at the time. That was your running back, Nairobi Allen. That's when it was. Yeah, you came to our place, the Pit, 63rd and Claremont. It was rainy. For some reason, we decided to throw the ball. I don't know. But I digress. Man, we have a great show for you, man. I told you, my man Chris Tubbs. We have a lot of Bears talk to get into. But let's start off, baby. You know how we do the first segment of every show. And he's coming on at 9:30, so we got to get going. I mean, I guess we could do top of the morning after him a little bit, but I mean, we're going to be fired up and lathered up at that particular point. I don't know if we want to do it at that junction. So let's get it going, baby. You know how we do the first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
The first top of the morning topic, man, which way do we go? Last night, the Blackhawks, baby. The Blackhawks defeat the reigning Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers, 3-1 yesterday. Yay. Peter Mrazek stopped 32 of 33 shots. Teuvo Teravainen lit the lamp for the fifth time this season. Craig Smith, he lit the lamp for the 5th time as well. Who else? The captain, Nick Foligno. He lit the lamp for the Blackhawks for the 6th time of the season. Assists yesterday. Tyler Bertuzzi, he had his 2nd helper of the year. Alex Vlasic, his 8th helper of the year. Pat Maroon, his 4th helper of the year. And the captain, again, he was doing double duty. He was scoring, he was assisting. Nick Foligno with his 3rd helper of the season. Next top of the morning topic, the Blackhawks are back in action tomorrow as they travel to Philly for an afternoon affair with the Philadelphia Flyers. Puck drop is at noon, high noon, Central Standard Time. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network if you have it, if you paid for the app, or listen to it on the flagship station, 720 a.m. It's $19. This is the crazy part. It's $19 for one team or $40 for all 3 teams. That's a 30. Is it $30 for all 3 teams or 40? I'll double check. I had it written down in my, we talked about it before. I'd have to look back in my notes. But it makes sense to make it $40 to get all 3. Yeah. But it's quite the debacle. They're going direct to consumer, so you can download the app. I assume you can download. They have a Roku channel. You can download all that and watch your whoever it is that you paid for. I mean, if you pay, it just makes sense. It's $30. I want to say it's. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know when that was though. Shoot. I don't know when that was. But anyway, moving on to the next topic. The Bulls, baby. Only the Bulls. Only the Bulls. The Bulls host the Atlanta Hawks tonight in the Emirates NBA Cup tournament. This is the one where they have the crazy floor. So floor will be bright red. They'll have the crazy uniforms and shit. Tip-off tonight is at 7 o'clock Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network if you have it. Or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 AM. So when they're done with that, after the Bulls whoop that ass tonight, they're going to have to take apart the floor and get it back, because the next top of the morning topic is tomorrow. The Bulls host the Memphis Grizzlies. And that tip-off is at 7 p.m. Again, you can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 AM. They got to switch out the court. And if you don't know, and you should know, the court's a big jigsaw puzzle. That's all it is. The big jigsaw puzzle. All right. And, you know, they put something down over the ice. And then it's like, I don't want to say cloth, but they put something down over the ice. And then they start putting the court down. And it's really, really cool. If you've never seen it, I don't know if I think they might have it on YouTube. Check it out. But, you know, working as a high school kid, all right, when I worked at the old barn, the Chicago Stadium, the original Madhouse on Madison, all right, I saw them do it often. All right, I saw them do it quite often. It was pretty dope. I mean, the way when they started breaking down most of the floor, this is how fast the workers were. By the time I left, all right, we had to stay maybe half hour after the game. You know what I mean? Because we have to have everybody exit the arena. By the time I had to leave, I left my post, the majority of the floor was gone. Like you're starting to pull up the carpet or the whatever the buffering thing that goes on the ice. They're starting to pull that up often. I mean, they just had it down to a T. It was crazy. I mean, how fast they did it. And they had to get it, you know, because a lot of times it's just like it is now. You know, you had the Bulls and the Blackhawks playing there, and one night it's the Bulls, next night it's the Blackhawks, next night it's the Bulls, next night it's the Blackhawks, next night it's the Blackhawks, then it's the Bulls. And they have, you know, back-to-back home teams or home game, different sport. They'd have to do it. They'd be doing that, and it'd be wild. It'd be nuts. Nuts. Oh, is all I can say. But moving on, the next top of the morning topic. The Bears. Yeah, baby, the Bears host the Minnesota Vikings tomorrow on the lakefront at Soldier Field. Kickoff is high noon Central Time. You can catch that game on Fox 32 or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. Big game for the Bears. Okay, their season is pretty much done, but if they lose tomorrow, it is put a fork in them. They are done because they have the Detroit Lions on Thursday, a week from yesterday on Thanksgiving Day. And the way the Lions are running through people, Lord have mercy. That'll be a 6-game losing streak for this team. And yeah. Yeah. And at the time, when we're at the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk to our guy Chris Tubbs from Minneapolis, from WCCO Radio. We're going to talk to him because this Viking team looks pretty formidable with an 8-2 record. And yeah, they're looking pretty damn good. Keeping it moving on. The next top of the morning topic, the White Sox, they signed outfielder Austin Slater. Okay, not a needle mover, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. Anything's going to help when you lose 121 games. They signed him to a 1-year, $1.74 million deal. And a college recruiting tour. Deion Sanders in Colorado got the heir apparent to Shador. He's a 5-star quarterback recruit, Julian Lewis, who decommitted from USC, and he commits to Colorado. That's not the only craziness. Remember last week when I talked to you about this kid, Bryce Underwood? That's the next top of the morning topic. Bryce Underwood here. You see him in LSU games. He's from Michigan, but he's the number one quarterback, and it said likely to decline Michigan's $10.5 million NIL offer. Well, apparently $10.5 million does what $10.5 million can do. Because Michigan native LSU commit and the number one recruit in the country, Bryce Underwood, has flipped his commitment from LSU and will stay home and play at the University of Michigan. Because I was about to say, $10.5 million don't work like it used to. Isn't that sick? Sick. And Underwood, he was shown last, showing wearing LSU jewelry and stuff. After LSU, or when Alabama beat LSU and they destroyed them. But Shawn Moore over in Michigan kept recruiting him. And they partnered with a collective. It's called the Champion Circle. This is what colleges do. They get a collective. All right. It's not officially part of the program. All right. But what they do is they raise money. And Michigan partnered with Champion Circle. And the founding member and chairman of the Champion Circle in a statement said, we are very excited to keep Bryce home in Michigan as he continues to build his legacy. 10.5. What the hell would you do if you're at 18? Now, mind you, this is over 4 years. So it's going to 2 and change. What the hell would you do at 18 years old with $2.5 million? What the hell? I don't know what the hell I do. I mean, imagine me going to Holy Cross and getting $2.5 million. Holy sheesh. But yeah, Bryce Underwood has flipped his commitment and staying home at the University of Michigan. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome our friend Chris Tubbs from Minnesota. We're getting into Bears talk because this is crisis mode. Crisis mode over here on the lakefront. Crisis mode. All right, one more loss in a row, and man, oh man, oh man, it's all said and done. All right, so Chris Tubbs on the other side. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Chi. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators. a passion to change lives. Spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds. Help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
The game ended. First and foremost, extremely disappointed for our players. But I'm also disappointed for our support staff, our entire organization, and for the city of Chicago. As I always tell you all, for any success or any failure of any field goal, it starts with the protection, the operation, and the execution. And when those things are right, you have a successful field goal. When those things are wrong, your field goal isn't what you want it to be. And that starts and ends with me.
Wow. Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That was Chicago Bears special teams coordinator. Wow. And you know what? I like this. Okay. This is something that hasn't been going on in Hallis Hall. All right. Steve Hightower, is the special teams coordinator. And there had been a lot of passing the buck and, and not accepting accountability and blame for things that go wrong throughout that building. And lately, the last couple coaches, Hightower, Coach Brown, I like the way they face things head on, unlike the head coach. And there were a lot of things that went wrong on that particular field goal, from Eberflus to Caleb to the offensive line, a whole bunch of stuff. And we're not going to go revisit it. It's crazy, but it was good to hear from Steve Hightower. Good to hear him, coach. It's crazy. Mike Tomlin said coaches off. He goes, a lot of coaches run from the responsibility of coaching. Think about that. Coaches run from the responsibility of coaching. And you have to understand, remember we talked about it before. When things happen on the field, they're either coached or they're allowed. Okay? And when things don't go well, coaches, when they take accountability for what they didn't do, and that was refreshing. Hope it doesn't come down to another field goal, because they'll probably, Minnesota will probably block that shit too. Our first guest is a good friend of the program. Man, he's been rocking with us for years. What, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? I don't even know how long it is. My goodness gracious, great balls of fire. He's a producer up there at WCCO Radio up in Minneapolis. You can find him on Twitter at CM Tubbs. Guys, welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Chris Tubbs. Chris, what's up, Papa? How are you? Good morning.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I am good. Thank you. Oh, a lot of crazy things going on here in Chicago, man. And unfortunately, the actual game playing of football is not one of them.
It's been kind of a mixed bag for you guys with, Caleb Williams then having to change your offensive coordinator and everything. And I mean, I look at it this way, like starting 4-2 and then, going on this losing streak, 2 of those were walk-off losses. I mean, the Hail Mary and then the blocked field goal. Those 2 teams have a combined 14-7 record and hold the last 2 playoff spots in the NFC. So I look at more kind of flukish than anything else. So, I mean, I keep your head up about that. I don't think that it sucks for the losses, but those were pretty fluky losses.
Yeah, they were. Unfortunately, no one asked about style points in the NFL. It's literally cut and dry. Did you win or did
That's
you lose?
true. Yep.
And they didn't get it done. And there are a lot of factors about it. But the one thing that I have seen is I've seen a lot from this young man at quarterback. All right, those are 2 game-winning drives that Caleb led them down to. He led them down in the Washington game to score. And it wasn't just a field goal. We needed a touchdown. We went down. We scored a touchdown. Okay, that was an issue a lot with Justin Fields. Part of it was the play caller. Part of it was the receivers he had. Whatever the reason, Justin Fields didn't do that on a consistent basis. Caleb, in his short career, has done it now a couple of times. He's gone into the half and led us to field goals and touchdowns to this point. He's at the end of the game. So there's a lot to be excited about this young man because he seems better when it's crunch time. How are you looking to attack this kid? The number 1 overall pick. We've all seen the flashes. It's just sometimes he gets a little out over his skis, so to speak. He misses wide open receivers. He delivers the wrong type of ball to receivers. But this guy is extremely, extremely talented. How do you think that your guy Brian Flores is going to affect this kid on Sunday?
I think he's going to try and throw something at Caleb like he's never seen. And there's one thing that Brian Flores does. It is mass coverages. It has changed things up. You show a man, you go to a zone. You show the zone. You might have a D tackle run around, go to the edge. He is amazing at mixing up the coverages. I think the Vikings are 7th in pressure rate in the NFL, so they're definitely going to get after him. I think the key is to keep him in the pocket and get to him before he can get rid of the ball. And it seems, kind of silly to say that and almost counterintuitive. Well, yeah, of course you do. But you saw the difference. And I mean, Shawn being a Bears guy, I mean, you saw this, just the change in how they attacked. He got the ball out quicker, and if he's not there and he's not that sitting duck, I feel like the Vikings are going to have a little bit harder time getting to him. And if they can't get to him, then you got a chance for your playmaker. But if they can get to him, then I think they can disrupt some things because the Vikings also have the top rush defense in the NFL. So I'm a DeAndre Swift guy. I think he, for whatever reason, just did not thrive in Philadelphia. But I do like him as part of your squad.
You, me, and the whole Chicago Bear Nation, because I was a little leery in him. Like, okay, he's not going to run between the tackles. He's kind of a third down guy, a screen guy, a draw guy, that type of stuff.
Smaller scat back. You wouldn't think that he'd be an every down guy.
And he said, hey, hold my coffee. Hold my beer, man. Yep. He's like, because I can run in between the tackles. And I've been very impressed with his ability to run between the tackles. Obviously, he's got top end speed. We've seen that he had a couple of 40-plus yard touchdown runs. I'm a big fan of him, and I think we also need to get him involved a little more. I think, with that, the pressure that you guys have, and you guys, Lord, we all know about Brian Flores and his pressure. I think our screen game really needs to come into play this Sunday, because if we catch you guys in a blitz, he's a guy who can literally take it to the house any particular time. And then with the thing you said that I really liked was that Caleb is getting the ball out faster. And the one thing that I noticed, his rhythm, and the one thing I've said that the pass routes, the route concepts, and his drops weren't married. By that I mean, he'd be at the top of his drop, and then the receivers are still in the middle of the routes. And then you wonder why he was getting sacked. Like, well, that doesn't make sense. Like, he needs a longer drop, or the routes need to be shorter. So when he's coming out, and if you look at the third down pass, it was 3rd and 19 last week. He hit Roma Dunze, and then the 4th down, he hit a 3rd down for 16, and then the next play he hit Roma Dunze for the 1st down. It was literally 1, 2, 3, bounce throw. 1, 2, 3, bounce throw. I mean, got it out of his hands quickly. And you notice you mentioned how important that is for him and against you guys, because it's frustrating if you're a defensive tackle and that quarterback's getting the ball out in 3 steps, because there's no way on God's green earth you're going to get to him. Is there a chance that the Bears can tire you guys out with that short passing game, because it's burst, 1, 2 step, stop, burst again, and you think that is there a chance that we can wear you guys out with a short passing game?
I don't think in terms of the short passing game, the Vikings don't miss tackles like they did in the past. Like, Andrew Van Ginkel and Blake Cashman. By the way, the Vikings, the two losses, the back-to-back losses against the Lions and the Rams, two games that Blake Cashman left. So Blake Cashman was gone those games. Andrew Van Ginkel is kind of a unicorn for this defense in the sense that he can do things. He lines up in more spots than any other linebacker in the NFL, meaning he'll go with the Mike, he'll go with the Will, he'll go with the Sam. He's even lined up at safety a couple of times. So I don't think the Vikings, if they're able to keep things in front of them and slow down the tempo a little bit, I think that they can create more pressure. I think, the weakness for the Vikings is in the secondary. If they can rattle Caleb and, kind of get guys out of position, that could work to your advantage. But I think this team, tackling wise, is so fundamentally strong that they're a year ahead of expectations. Like next year was supposed to be the year with all the dead money that they've got on the cap. Vikings have already hit their Vegas total was 6.5. So they're playing with house money the rest of the year.
So you mentioned the secondary. Your secondary could be a weakness. We got a guy, and with Brian Flores liking to call a lot of blitzes, a lot of pressure. They're going to be in man a decent amount of time. We got a guy, DJ Moore, who excels in man. Are you going to look at him and try and contain him? Because remember, Washington last year brought a lot of man. He busted them for 2 and change, 3 touchdowns. We haven't really connected this year. We meaning Caleb and DJ. There seems to be something off a little bit about those two. But how do you think Brian Flores is going to want to deal with him? Because he is a man beater, no pun intended. Just he excels, and if he can break tackles, he's built like a running back. How do you want to handle DJ Moore, our number 1 receiver?
I think it's a mix of man and zone. I mean, it's all about the coverages. The Vikings don't necessarily they avoid man-to-man in the sense that what they try and do is create these matchups, and losing 2 of your top members of the secondary to injuries. That's why they had to go out and get Stephon Gilmore, who's been okay. I mean, he wasn't the missing piece by any stretch of the imagination. I think, again, you got to figure out the matchups. Is that one that, does Harrison Smith move up a couple of yards? Do they try and get one-on-one with Stephon Gilmore when they do go man-to-man? Or do they drop a Jonathan Grenard or an Ivan Pace or Van Ginkel or Cashman? To me, that middle part of the field, the 7 to 10 yards, 11 yards downfield, that's going to be a very interesting part. I think that's where a lot of this game could be decided.
Okay. What about your run defense? You're pretty damn good against the run. I think number 1 is probably as good as it gets. We got a guy in DeAndre Swift that we talked about. We're down some offensive linemen, although Tevinjenkins was back practicing, but he'll be out in the first quarter with an injury of some sort. I can almost guarantee it. How do you think that situation goes? Because Thomas Smith really is going to Thomas Brown's going to continue to pound that run game because it's everything else so prevalent and is based off the run game, as we've seen for most of the season. How do you feel your run defense is going to stack up against our run offense?
The Vikings are going to give up big plays. It's the nature of how they play, but then they also mitigate that by getting, even if your offensive line, like you were saying with some of the injuries, even if you're not 100%, the Vikings are very good at creating pressure and pushing back that line of scrimmage. And I think the key for the Bears is if you can pass, if you can get ahead of the chains on first down, especially, and not get into that second and long, 2nd 13, 2nd 14, give Caleb a chance to move forward and then, get DeAndre Swift out in space again, just a little screen or a little, sweep or something. Get him to the outside. I think you can make the Vikings chase. But if the idea for the Bears is to run on first down, that plays into the Vikings' hands because then you can put that pressure on Caleb when you get him in a second and third, second long, third and long.
Okay. Let's switch sides of the ball. nobody, and I think I could speak for the Viking fan base. Nobody thought Sam Darnold was going to play as well as he started off the season. Your thoughts on him? And he's starting to come back down to earth a little bit, but you guys still have one of the best records in the NFL. How do you see Sam Darnold playing on Sunday, and what is he playing for? I mean, he's obviously not going to be the starter next year. Unless, or maybe he is, depends on how well he does. But you did just get this guy from Chicagoland area and J.J. McCarthy, who can throw the ball all over the yard. Just wasn't asked to do it at Michigan.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Sam Darnold and your thoughts on him on Sunday.
Sam Darnold the arm talent was never a question. Never a question at all. That's why, he was a top 3 pick. But you look at the places that he went. The Jets are where quarterbacks go to die. See our favorite nut job, Aaron Rodgers, which, by the way, watching Aaron Rodgers fail, how awesome is that?
I think we can agree on that.
That makes my heart so happy. A-Rod deserves everything that comes his way.
Every single bit of it.
Every single bit. Karma's a bitch, A-Rod.
Yes, it is.
Sorry. Anyway, that's one thing we can all agree on is that we despise Aaron Rodgers for many reasons. I think, second of all, you look at Carolina. Also not a good situation, but the numbers were there. Goes to San Francisco, hits the reset, and Kyle Shanahan is, if anybody's going to have a rebirth and a reset, San Francisco is the perfect place to do it.
Yeah, it is.
He came out, I'm glad that he had those 2 struggles against Jacksonville and Tennessee, because after the Jacksonville game where he threw, the 3 interceptions and all of them were targeting Justin Jefferson, 2 in the end zone, all 3 in the red zone. They're like, oh my God, here we go again. But he turned it around against Tennessee, a tougher pass defense, because Jacksonville's like 31st in the league in pass defense. He turned it around, 256 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He's not a game manager, but he's not a gunslinger. At the same time, he'll push it when he needs to, but I think he's been as good as the Vikings could have hoped. He hasn't cost them any games. He hasn't won them any games, but he hasn't cost them any games at the same time.
Okay. Well, you got this guy, Justin something or other, that's pretty good. How are you going to use him? Because we're going to, we usually don't travel Jalen Johnson, our number 1 corner. Our Pro Bowl corner. We don't travel him. He doesn't travel. He stays on one side of the field. Mm-hmm. And we use, predominantly a cover 2, a little bit of man. How do you think they're going to they're going to use Jefferson do you think they're going to switch him or make sure he's not on the side of Jalen Johnson to go up against our 2nd-year guy, Tyreek Stevenson, or it just doesn't matter? He's just that freaking good.
I think he's matchup proof, honestly, because yesterday he was asked, in his media availability, he was asked, hey, Justin, how would you cover Justin? In terms of the bump and run, the bracketing, the double coverage, how would you do that? And he's like, I would do the same thing that teams have been doing to me. He's like, there's two lines of thoughts. We can either let Justin go off and we can let the other guys go off. And the philosophy is we are not going to let Justin go off. So if you apply that to him, Josh Oliver has been really, really good as a tight end, a very big part of the offense. He's out this week with ankle and wrist injuries, I believe. So that means more for TJ Hawkinson. But TJ Hawkinson's only been back for a couple of weeks, and he played 57% of the snaps last week. So I don't know if Justin Jefferson he's going to get his, right? He's going to get 7-8 targets, but the way that they work him into the offense, you will see a drive about Justin Jefferson, and then they'll have to go away from it. Because I think the Tennessee game proved that Sam Darnold, you can't just look at Justin Jefferson. This is where Jordan Addison's got to play big. Jalen Naylor, who dropped a touchdown last week. Otherwise, the entire complexion of that game changes. I think that, Jefferson is going to get his, but Sam Darnold, he's got to continue to look away. The problem that Sam Darnold gets into is when he gets locked into Justin Jefferson. And I will say that is the one thing that this offensive staff is continuing to try and convey to Sam Darnold is you can continue to look the other way, especially if you're Jordan Addison's dad. I mean, that guy's a nincompoop. He's like, "Oh, Jordan's open." Well, no shit. We all saw he was open. Okay. You know, I mean, quarterbacks are quarterbacks. He's gonna make a mistake. My God, get over it.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I wish we had that problem here where it reminded me of back in the day when we had Cutler and Marshall. Like he would force feed Brandon Marshall, and Marshall would come down with the ball a lot. You got Justin Jefferson, you kind of force feed him, and I know, just Jordan Addison might not be happy about it, but you got Justin Jefferson on the other side. That's kind of a it's not a 50-50 ball when you throw it to Justin Jefferson.
No, hashtag free three. Hashtag free three. Why are wide receivers like the biggest, like they're vague booking? Just tell us what you mean, Jordan Addison. I know this goes back to your USC days, but for the love of God, tell us what you mean. Like we don't play that. We don't play that.
Yeah. So, and what about your run game? I mean, we're hurting, man. And our big guy, Andrew Billings, is out. One of the things that I was really, really surprised at last week, up in the press box, I was sitting next to a guy from Fox, and I was like, you know what? I say, Green Bay's not attacking us up the middle. They're running laterally and outside. I'm like, we got speed. Why would you do that? I said, you're not going at. We got our number one run stopper, Andrew Billings, who the Bears signed last year to a one-year deal. In the middle of the season, they extended him. So you know how good you had to be playing to extend you in the middle of the season, not even wait till the end of the season. He's out with a torn pec for the year. And Green Bay decided not to run inside as a replacement. What do you think you guys are going to use Aaron Jones? Because Aaron Jones hasn't had a 100-yard game in a couple of weeks. But he was a bear killer. Let me tell you, believe me, that was another son of a gun. We didn't like facing. You think you guys are going to attack up the middle or attack in between the tackles? Because that's where our run defense is hurting.
I think they'll try. Aaron Jones a couple of weeks ago, suffered a painful rib injury, came back late in that game. And I don't understand why, when you're just trying to salt the game away, why Kevin O'Connell would bring him back in, when you could just hand the ball off to Cam Akers. He's feeling much better going into this week. Like last week, I think he only played like 51% of the snaps. He's been, he's 30 years old, and that's old like us in real life. So yeah, believe me, when the season started, this was not white, and now it's an ash blonde, as my wife would say. I think they'll it's 2 series for Aaron Jones, 1 for Cam Akers, who they acquired from the Texans. So he's basically the backup running back. Ty Chandler is persona non grata at this point. I think they'll continue to try and just churn out positive yardage. If they can get big runs out of him, great. But I do expect them to continue to try and run to the inside, because I don't know that Aaron Jones has got the juice to run, get to the edge. He's more of a between the tackles guy at this point with the wear and tear. Because the guy's been a wagon for, years.
Yeah, don't remind us.
Oh,
don't remind us.
We felt it too.
Twice a year, Aaron Jones, 100 yards, 100 yards, 100 yards, 100 yards,
yeah.
100 yards a tutty, 100 yards, 2 tutties. Like, God bless it. Can we stop this freaking guy? Lord have mercy.
As long as he can give it to the Packers for the rest of the year.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Because he's salty, because they said, we're going to get a younger version of you. We're going to get Josh Jacobs. Sorry,
think about that. A younger version, and you're talking about Josh Jacobs. I tell you, there is no petty like sports petty, and I am here for it.
You and me both.
the pettier, the better. I mean, that's what sports is good. When people get all pissy and mad, bring it on.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, Chris, so give me your prediction, dog. What are you thinking? How is it going to turn out for you, in your opinion, on Sunday?
Oh God, see, Soldier Field, I love it because it's a historic venue, but I hate it when the Vikings play, because there's always something that really weird that happens. But it's not in prime time, so that's good. Yeah. I go back to 2009, and the Vikings needed to beat the Bears on prime time to have home field throughout the playoffs. And something named Devin Aromashadu scored in overtime. And I'm like, yes, thank you. And I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. I do think that the defense for the Vikings can be disruptive just enough. I'm gonna go 21-17 Vikings.
Whoa, you're giving us a lot of points there, buddy.
I am. I'm giving you a chance. But no, I think that
telling me there's a chance.
They're telling you there's yeah, I think that right now this team's got some good mojo. I think they know that they've got something to play for at this point too. Like they're like, okay, are they legit at 5-0? Then of course, see, we are the most neurotic, insecure fan base, like out of all sports. Like something happens, we're like, oh my God, here we go again. The Vikings are gonna. Well, yeah, we are neurotic, insecure, very anxiety-ridden fan base. But I do think that this team has a little juice, and I do think that this is the part of the schedule that they got to continue to make hay. And I think that they realize that there's a shot to at least keep pace with the Lions, and I think that's enough motivation for them.
Okay, 21-17. That's hell of a lot closer than I think. And hopefully for my guys, hopefully last week was a learning experience because it's frustrating because we had the whole civil war here in the offseason. Justin, Caleb, Justin. That was and we're all still licking our wounds from that one. But Caleb is missing a lot of receivers, and that's frustrating. He's throwing the wrong type of ball to receivers. Like he'll put air under the ball. He threw it was a couple of passes to DJ Moore, where DJ Moore had his guy beat, and he put some air under the ball and underthrew it. One was picked. It's like, come on, dude. Like this is like you're generational. You're the best quarterback prospect since football was created. Like, come on.
Isn't that funny? Like every year there's like, oh, the quarterback can't miss. It's a generational prospect. There's a generational prospect every year.
Every single year.
Every single year.
Yeah. So it's frustrating. So I hope that I like Thomas Brown, our new OC. I really like him. He's very demanding of what my understanding. He's very demanding of his players, and you could see it. So hopefully they learned, and we keep it close. And I think it'll be. I think I want it to be close. I don't think it will be. I'm hoping it is, but I don't think it will be. I just think our defense is hurt too much. Our defense is just not solid enough. And you got Justin Jefferson, you got Jordan Aston, you got TJ Hawkinson, you got the running backs, and
but don't account for. I mean, it's at Soldier Field, and that's a tough place for like the Vikings to historically. Historically the Vikings don't blow the Bears out at Soldier Field. If there's a blowout, it's the other way around. And I mean I'm not trying to blow smoke, but it's. Soldier Field is maybe my least anticipated game of the year just because weird things happen for the Vikings. If they come out of there with a win at all, even if it's 3-2, with a double in the top of the seventh that clears the bases, I'm fine with that. Give me Royce Lewis with a bases clearing double in the top of the seventh, and we'll be good.
Yeah, because Peanut Tillman used to give Randy Moss a lot of problems.
Yes,
with the peanut punch and ripping the ball out and the jump balls in the end zone. I remember those days. Yeah. So all right, cool. Chris, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. Do me a favor though, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, absolutely. I am on Twitter or X or whatever Elmo's calling it at CM Tubbs. Also on Blue Sky as well. I'm giving that a shot. To get away from Elmo. So at Rubsy or Christopher Tubbs, I'm there. I got a picture of my cat, and he's holding a ball with a Vikings logo on it. So I guess I'm a homer.
Hey, great stuff, buddy. We'll talk again in a couple of weeks.
You got it, brother. Anytime for you, Shawn. I got you back.
Appreciate you. Have a great one.
Got you, buddy.
Bye now. Guys, that's Chris Tubbs up in Minneapolis giving us a preview from the Minnesota Vikings, and it's going to be tough. I'll give you my preview in the next hour, but we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk Bears. All right, from our perspective, what do we need to do? Can Caleb build off of a decent game last year? Last week, I should say, not last year. All right, he took him down for the game-winning field goal. Just the operation wasn't there. You saw him high-fiving and congratulating his guys for getting them in, for moving down the field. Can he move down the field and win this week? We're going to find out. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. There we go. We just got done with our buddy Chris Tubbs from up in Minneapolis, WCCO radio up in Minneapolis. There's a lot of stuff that I want to get into. A lot of stuff that I really want to get into. And Mox, these 24-21 Bears. Okay. Shorty, you're right. And I can feel that when he said that, it was really weird when he said that because, yes, like this is how I feel about playing the Packers. Like something always goes wrong. Like we go to Lambeau, always. I mean, it happens every time we play the Packers, but like last week, but especially in Lambeau. And that's how the Minnesota Vikings fans feel about coming to Soldier Field. I get it because that's how we are when we go to Lambeau or just play the Packers. It's tough. So, Shorty, you had 28-6 Vikings. Okay. Aunt Moss is like, and that's why, like running backs, you don't grab quarterbacks too high. You know, I don't know if I agree with, well, quarterbacks you can, but see, quarterbacks are so much more fickle, to use that term, fickle. Because here's the situation. With a quarterback, you need everything in place. I don't know why the hell this is all the way out there. You need everything in place for a quarterback to even have a chance. Okay? What do you mean everything in place, Shawn? Well, I'm glad you asked. First of all, you need a good play caller. It's for starters. Okay? Even before that, you need a good offensive line to protect him. So do you have a good offensive line? Do you have a good offensive line coach? Do you have weapons? Do you have good receivers? Do you have a good tight end? Do you have good running backs? All these things are necessary for a quarterback just to have a chance. Not even to be successful, just to have a chance. So you could draft a quarterback high, but chances are you're missing a lot of the things necessary to help a quarterback succeed because you're picking that high. And that's why we were, myself included, was excited with this situation because the Bears had receivers. They added receivers. They added Rome Odunze. They added Keenan Allen. They added Gerald Everett to Cole Kmet. Okay, they added all those. But they didn't upgrade the offensive line. He made moves on the offensive line, but you didn't upgrade the offensive line. And then you got a play caller who's not a leader of men, who wasn't a stickler for the details, and that was an issue. That was an issue. Can Caleb's talent overcome all this? Now it's and I'll tell you what, this is why everybody can't coach football. You have to understand you're dealing with alphas. You're dealing with alpha males. Can you lead them? Can you get them to buy into you? You can have the best scheme in the world. Shane Waldron's scheme worked. Look at Geno Smith. He had a phenomenal year last couple seasons. You have phenomenal scheme, but can you make it work? Can you get guys to buy in? In Seattle, he was able to. But he also had Pete Carroll over his shoulder. So if players want to act crazy, they knew who they had to deal with. Pete Carroll was behind them. And you knew. There was you weren't fucking with Pete Carroll. That's that. So it's a shame because we've decimated so many quarterbacks. Mr. Shorty says, is Caleb bear proof? I don't know. I think it's imperative that you get the right type of coach. I think, and I think Thomas Brown is that dude. I think he is that right type of coach. I think he's very demanding. I think you can hear it in his press conferences. I think his players, they've known it. His players, the NFLPA survey had him as the second best offensive coordinator. This is from the players. This is not the media, not the fans. It's from the players. And trust me, players aren't going to vote for you because they like you. Oh, he's a great guy. No, they're going to vote because they respect you. And they like the way you call a game. I hope, and I think Caleb reacts to that very well. I think remember, right? Remember what I said last year? I said Justin's a great soldier. He just needs to be told what to do. You need someone that he can trust to tell him what to do. I think Caleb is similar, but a little more free spirit. And with free spirits, I found from teaching and coaching, sometimes you got to let them do what they want to do. You can't just come in and say, do it my way because I know better. Because their natural instinct is to fight and do it their way. Okay, so what you do with those type of players, you say, okay, we'll do it your way to an extent. I'll give you some freedom. Okay? I'll give you some freedom. And then when it doesn't work, okay, now you can more incorporate what it is you want and what you want them to do, how you want them to play. And they're more apt to it because it wasn't working. Because remember, the way Caleb plays, that's what won him the Heisman. And it's okay to play like that, but you have to be under control. And there has to be a fundamentals there. Like when the big play isn't there, you got to hit the check down. When the big play isn't there, you got to hit the out. When the big play isn't there, you got to hit the tight end sitting 6 yards downfield as opposed to the 30-yard bomb. You have to be willing to take that. One of my old mentors in trading said, you can't go broke taking profits. You'll never go broke taking profits. So, one of the things, this is what I want. You know, everybody's talking about Brian Flores this, Brian Flores that, Brian Flores this, and he deserves all the respect that he gets. Okay? But there's a mantra. Respect all, fear none. Respect all, fear none. Here's what I want the Bears to do. Attack. Attack. I need you to have gone deep into in Brian Flores' playbook. I'm talking going back to his time with the Patriots, his time as the head coach with the Dolphins. And I need you to find damn near every single type of blitz that he ran. And I need Caleb ready. Because when he runs that type of blitz again, I need to know, my receivers need to know exactly how to combat those blitzes. Where the soft spot in the coverage is going to be. If it's man, give me slants. Give me double moves. Give me a sluggo, slant and go. It's got to be quick. Give me a slant, 3 steps, boop, up the seam. The middle of the field is going to be wide. If they're blitzing people, the middle of the field is going to be wide open. 7 to 10, 15. Send some guys, send DJ Moore. Where the hell's Tyler Scott been? I need someone. It might be Roma Dunze. Maybe Roma Dunze plays a little more decoy this week, but send him deep, damn it. I was telling Chris, the guy I sat next to in a press box, like, we got to go deep once a quarter, at least, maybe twice. You go deep once a quarter. And I'll tell you what, you go deep early. Go deep early. All right, don't wait for him. Don't wait till 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5. Go deep early. I'm okay if you go 2nd down, 2nd and 2. Boom. Especially if it's 2nd and short, go deep. Attack. Be on the offensive. We are the offense. We're not defensive. We're not reacting. Let's make the defense react to us as opposed to the defense making us react to them. Brian Flores is a great play caller. But like Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan so you get punched in the mouth. So you attack. And Chris, you heard Chris talk about their secondary is a little weak. Okay, good. So let's attack it. Let's attack. I know you're coming. I know you're bringing the pressure. But when you bring pressure, you're leaving other areas vulnerable. And if Caleb, which he did a great job, if Caleb does what he did and shifts to max protection just to get time to throw, and we start hitting these short routes, boom. Cornelius Squall says, make him defend every blade of grass. Yes, every single blade. And I'm telling you, especially if it's third, when you see that coming, that first time, I'm throwing a first, third, and 6. I'm throwing a screen. First, third, and more than 5, I'm throwing a screen. Give them something, because that's what you do to put people on their heels. Because what's going to happen is if you hit on that first one, say it's 2nd and 2, second play of the game. 2nd and 2, you go deep, you hit it, boom. Now I'm telling you from a defensive coordinator's perspective, not that you're not going to blitz, now you're more cautious about blitzing. Now you're like, shit, man. All right, let me. And he might be more aggressive than I was, and that's possible. But it does set you back a little bit. It does change your mind. Like, okay, they're willing to do this. They're willing to attack. They're not waiting for us. They're moving. They're offensive. So I'm anxious to see how Thomas Brown comes out. I'm anxious to see. I'm anxious to see if Caleb, if they're on the same page. There's so many weapons here. Pardon me. You know, I think with the pressure, I think you might be able to get Rome Odunze on a deep shot. But Rome Odunze's got to fight. Rome Odunze, listen, you're the number 1 receiver. You led the NCAA in receiving yards for a reason. I need that dog in you. All right. I like his talent is there, but I'd like for him to be a little more doggish. I need him to have that confidence, and it's tough. But you've had good games. You had a 100-yard game with a tutty. You've had a couple of them. Now I don't need that fake confidence. I need you to understand that you are legit. You are one of the best young receivers in the NFL. Make teams pay. Make teams pay. So when you run your routes, you run it like you know you're getting a God-blessed ball. And that's going to pull defenders. And if you can connect, if they can connect, whew. We connected a long one. By long one, I mean 20 plus, 30 plus. What it does, it puts defensive coordinators back on their heels. Because you're like, some people might say, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to blitz you even harder. I'll bring more pressure. But in the back of your mind, they're like, man, but if they connect, we're screwed. That's 6. And they might say, and Brian Flores might say, you know what? Bump it. We didn't get one on 5. We're coming with 6. And we connect. Here's a chance for, and the one thing I said, I liked when Caleb seems to be doing very well against pressure. When the pressure is on, Caleb's doing well, and I'm happy for that. I'm glad. He's been doing very well against the blitz. So you look at, if you want to blitz them, okay. You're taking your chances with these talented receivers. This could be Keenan Allen's week. You never know. You know, I'm hoping, you know, Keenan Allen with his veteran instincts, he's able to find some open spots in man. All right, they're coming. He gives a head fake. He sees the middle of the field's open, settles in there, or heads in there. Caleb hits him. There's so many weapons, and we're. It seems like they've not opened up the entire playbook to Caleb. Okay? Because remember when I told you how to install a playbook. You don't throw everything at a person at once. You don't. It sounds great. Oh, he threw everything at him, and he's getting all of it. No, he's not. And I'll tell you what, if he's not getting it, I can guarantee you the receivers and the offensive line aren't getting it. Even if the quarterback does get it, because that's what happened with Cutler. Cutler was a genius. Every single coordinator he had would say, wow, I can't believe how he's picking up the offense. It's the running backs, the receivers, the offensive linemen, the blocking schemes, the proper calls that need to be made from the offensive linemen. That's where the issue is. King Booker World checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. That's why you give them a little bit. You get that down. Then every week you add more. Every week you add more. Because when it comes back down to it, what's your identity? Here's what we're going. Our base. We're an inside zone team. Good. Here's what we're going to do. Just keep adding it, as opposed to here. Take it all. Remember it all. And that's not the way to work. Excuse me. I don't know if you heard that. Oh, goodness. You know, they have a great run game. I'm sorry. They have a great run defense. Run at them. Run at them. Chris Morgan, earn your keep. Tevinjenkins. Tevinjenkins is playing. Let me see. Where is it? Let me see this. Here. I'm looking to see what the. Oh, you know, I got to go to Twitter. Go Bears PR. That's who. The Bears PR people is they're the ones who put out the. Here you go. Here it is, Chicago Bears PR. They put out all the injury reports. Here we go. Injury report yesterday. Kieran Amagaje, he did not practice yesterday. Ryan Bates, concussion, did not practice yesterday. Elijah Hicks, DB, did not practice yesterday. Mercedes Lewis did not practice yesterday. DeAndre Swift, limited in practice yesterday after not practicing on Wednesday. Tevinjenkins, limited on Wednesday, full participant on Thursday. So we have it's a shorty. Ryan Bates didn't practice. Imagine that. You know, I know we didn't put up a lot of points, but it doesn't mean we don't have the talent. We don't have the pieces. And that's the frustrating thing. And, you know, I see it. And we just can't connect. And I'm hoping that Thomas Brown takes it personal. It's like, look, we got to connect. You're the number 1 overall pick for a reason. Get the goddamn ball to DJ Moore. Get the ball to Keenan Allen. Get the ball to Roma Dunze. Get the ball to Cole Kmet. Get the ball out of your hands. Get it to them. Because I think Caleb, hopefully, is starting to get a better understanding of it. And you see him when he's under pressure, or there's a time constraint, or they're down. They got to move the ball. They need to get in field goal range, or need to score a touchdown. He plays much better. He's not thinking. He gets the ball out quickly. And if you can have that same mindset to start the game, man, we'll go down and score on the first drive. I don't think we've gone down and scored a touchdown on the opening drive this year. We need that. We need that. We need that to put confidence in this offense. You know, like I said, I still want us to run the ball, despite the fact that Minnesota has a great run defense. I don't care. As I said, Chris Morgan, your boys, Tevinjenkins, you're ready. You want that contract. All right, you want that. You're in the final year of your deal. They're probably not going to bring you back, but you know what you do? You put good shit on tape for the next person to sign you. You put good stuff on tape. And there'll be a team that'll take you. I know you're injury prone, but we'll give you X amount of millions because when you're in there, you're pancaking people. Look what they did to Nate Davis. He got 10 years. I'm sorry, 3 years, 10 mil a year, 3 years for 30 mil. I'm sure you get a 3-year, 30 million deal. That'll help you out a lot, you and the newborn. It's there, but you got to put that shit on tape. And why not tomorrow? Why not? I'm sorry, Sunday. Why not Sunday? Why not be ready and say against the number one run defense, here's what we got. Our running back busted them for 135 and 2 touchdowns. Get up to the second level. Get these linebackers. Create gaps for these guys. Braxton Jones, but not phenomenal block on a touchdown run. Get out there and do it again. I think this offense needs to attack. I know Brian Flores is a great defensive coordinator. I know he calls phenomenal games. I know he likes to confuse quarterbacks. I know he's good at it. I know they're number one in interceptions in the NFL. I know this. That doesn't mean you don't attack them. It doesn't mean that at all. Respect all, fear none. I don't give a damn if you're the number one overall defense, period. It comes down to how bad do you want it. Blocking, come on now. Are you better than the man in front of you? Can you double team a guy and get up to the second level? This is all blocking. This is all desire. This is technique. So have you taught them properly? Have you drilled home technique with these guys? Some weeks it looks like you have. Other weeks it looks like you haven't. Because I'll tell you what, if you can run the ball against this team, man, that really, really, really puts them in a bind. Because now do you want to blitz? Because then he's going to have to be forced to send some run blitzes. And now you play action pass, keep the running back in for extra protection. Now you got 2 people out in the route, 3 people out in the route, 2 people out in the route, 7, 8. 3 people in the route, 2 wide receivers and a tight end, or 3 wide receivers. You know, Eberflus is trying to save his job. I don't think it's possible. Doesn't mean it's not probable. I don't think it's probable. It doesn't mean it's not possible. There's got to come a point in time. We got to say enough's enough. Enough is a freaking enough. You know the guy I really need to hear from? Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat. I know he had a boo-boo. Damn, dog. Like, for real? Like, you got all this money, bro. You haven't had a sack since October 27th. So we're going on a month. You missed the Cardinals game. And the team only has 7 sacks during its 4-game losing streak. All this info from Jason Leisure in today's Chicago Sun-Times. Come on, man. $98 million they gave you. $98 million. And you got 3.5 sacks this year. You know, we were excited to get you. We were excited. Not only did you lead us in sacks, but you led the Washington Commanders in sacks after you came here and you won. And you led both teams in sacks. First time in the history of the NFL. How about you give us those 7 to 10 sacks now? Give us those 10 sacks. There's got to come a point in time, like I get it. But there's got to come a point in time when you, as a player, it's not about the money. It's about winning. You got your money. Now it's about how bad do you want to be the best? How bad do you want people to say, man, we got first thing on offense, offensive coordinator, find Montez Sweat. Find him. Right side or left side, and then we'll go from there. Then we'll make our adjustments from there. Where is he at? They're single blocking this dude now. They're blocking him one-on-one. If you receive there should be a rule. If you make more than $80 million, you can't be blocked one-on-one. Or your contract gets renegotiated. Because that type of shit is ridiculous. You give them $100 million and they can block you one-on-one, you can get a guy off the street, they can block you one-on-one. Terrell, oh goodness, Terrell Hardy. Is it Hardy? No, Daryl Thomas. Is that Daryl Thomas, the guy we drafted? Are we signing in the offseason? Like you're pulling his type of shit. Come on. They give him $98 million. And this is what I'm talking about. You need to come this is defensive line coach. Defensive line coach. You need to get some more. Eric Washington, you need to get more out of him. All right. I stood on a chair, pounded the table for you. Now we need to see your group be disruptive. Now, you've done a great job. And I'm not going to say it's all bad. You've done a great job of having the defense bend but not break. Eric Washington teams bends but does not break. Haven't been blown out. But we also need more disruption from that D-line. Montez Sweat, Gervon Dexter, where are you? Billings goes down. We're expecting you to step it up a little bit because man down. Haven't heard from you. Haven't heard from this guy. It's starting to get frustrating. All right. Are you the stretch and the reach that people said you were? Like, wow, that's kind of, you're going after him? The defensive line needs to step up big time. Sam Darnold will throw you the ball. Sam Darnold. He's coming back to earth. Started off really hot. Here's a good chance. Sam Darnold isn't the most mobile quarterback. You can get to him. Tyreek Stevenson. Kyler Gordon. Jalen Johnson. It could be a big game for you guys. Especially if the defensive line does its job, it can be a really big game for you because he's going to go to Justin Jefferson. That's his first thought. If you're not in his facility, make sure you cover up Jordan Addison as well. Just if they're on separate sides, whoever's on the side he's on, okay, keep an eye on that. Even shade a little bit. I get it. But the backside, if you're not on him, you got to make sure you cover up Jordan Addison. Because you can't have eyes in the backfield or have eyes on Justin Jefferson and he's on the other side of the field. And you take your eyes off of Jordan Addison and this guy kills you. Because Jordan Addison has already had a 100-yard game and a tutty or two. So Minnesota is a good squad. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. is in the house. What's up, Papa? Thanks for tuning in. All late and shit. I'm kidding. Junior says, I don't think the Bears will win another game this season. So this defense concerns me. It concerns me. I don't feel as confident about them as I did to start the season. The turnovers, where are they at? Creating the turnovers, the picks, the sacks. Eberflus, this is your baby. You made your living as a defensive coordinator. Why the lack of pressure? Bring 5 if you have. Bring 5 in a twist. Bring a linebacker from the right side of the defense. A twist on the left side. Have Sweat go inside. Gervon Dexter set the edge. There's so many things you can do. This Minnesota Viking team is beatable. It's beatable. This team is beatable. They're not going to beat themselves. That's the issue. They're not going to beat themselves. Don't sit there and expect them to shoot themselves in the foot. They're not. They're not going to shoot themselves in the foot. They're not going to be the Detroit Lions of 2-3 years ago. They're not. And the prior 20 years to that. They're not. You got to go and take it. You got to demand respect. And it's frustrating when you have the talented players that the Bears have. I know some are out with injury, but they're all not. All of them aren't out with injury. You still have Sweat. You still have Dexter. You still have Kyler Gordon. Jaquan Brisker's still out. He's on IR. But you still have Kevin Byard. You still have Tyreek Stevenson. You still have Jalen Johnson. You still have Tremaine Edmonds. You still have TJ Edwards. You still have Jack Sanborn. Like, there's a lot of people who aren't getting home. And it's frustrating. Like, come on, baby. DeMarcus Walker, where have you been? If they're double teaming, or when they double team Sweat, where are you at? I haven't heard from the rookie either. I haven't heard a lot from him in this 4-game losing streak. So now this week is a good week for them to get their shit together against a division rival, a team that's far superior to you on paper, but you don't win games on paper. That's why you play the games. This team can get got. And the thing is, and I think as a team, they need to attack. Defensively, you need to set the tone. You need to dictate what they do. You know, if you're in man with Justin Jefferson, I need physicality. If you're in zone, I need physicality. You can still be bump and run. You bump and bail. Disrupt the timing. Keep them in front of you. There's so many different things. Like, I'm getting fired up because I'm the former defensive coordinator. We had to stop a couple of good teams when I was coaching. And the one thing that trumps everything is physicality. That's the one thing that trumps everything, is being physical. And I haven't seen this, and it's probably not going to be there because Jaquan Brisker's out. But you need to make people understand, and when they play you, you're going to get hit. You need to make people understand in the morning after the game, you're going to be sore as all get out. There needs to be punishment for coming across the middle. Running backs need to be punished. First guy hold him up, second guy take him out. Or go for the ball. Go for the ball and take him out. But the attitude of this team has changed. And Started when Brisker went out. He's the heart and soul of this defense. I don't see any more hard hits. I see tackles. I see throwing people to the ground. I don't see face mask and chest, shoulder pad and chest, wrapping up and driving someone into the ground. I don't see that. I don't hear pads popping. The hardest hit last week was Braxton Jones on DeAndre Swift's touchdown run. He spun my man around. When you have the hardest hit, the loudest pad popping on the day, when it's from your offensive lineman, that's not good. That's not good. Defense, your job is to stop people. I need pads a popping. Eric, what? I don't know. What's wrong with these guys? Why you can't get these guys fired up to play? This is the NFL. It's these dogs that we don't have. This Bears team, and watch them come out and just make me look like a fool. Watch them come out hungry and physical and aggressive, and I'll eat it. I'll be so happy if they do. So happy. See our boys come out aggressive and taking it to the Minnesota Vikings. Because we match up against these guys. We do. And you heard Chris, fans hate it because them playing us is like us playing Green Bay. There's always something goes wrong. Chris talked about Devin and Roma should do. Winning in an overtime from Cutler. Use that. Believe. It doesn't look like there's going to be any craziness as far as the weather goes. Let me look at it. Let me look it for you. No, Sunday high of 53, overcast but no rain, and they had that shit covered. So inclement weather's not going to be an issue. Jay Grizz says, I'm curious as to how inclement weather conditions and that lake effect, wind and snow affects Caleb. Well, that's not going to affect him this week. It's going to be 53, overcast. So it'll be good for the game. Like I said, they keep it covered. So when it snowed yesterday here in Chicago, crazy, and then it rained after the snow. So it was about 2 inches of snow, 2 and 3 inches of snow in the morning, and then it rained and wiped it all away. Wiped it all away. That shit was crazy. Craziness. So no snow on Sunday, thank goodness. It's going to be a little cold. It's okay. It's 53. It's football weather. All right, 53 is football weather. You'll be all right. I will tell you, as I told Chris, and I've told you guys, I like the way Caleb is leading us down to game-winning drives. Not just field goals, touchdowns. All right, the Washington Commander game was a touchdown. We went down and scored. Let's do it again. I don't know. I'm wondering how the messages from Eberflus is resonating in the locker room. Are players tuning him out? Do they see him and view him already as dead man walking? Guys, we've all been in relationships and situations where we don't trust or respect the person that we're dealing with. Okay, and we know how it is. When they're talking, it's like wah wah, like Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah 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 wah. Has he lost his grasp on the locker room? I'll tell you what, the best way to get it back is to win. And then win again, and then win again, and then win again. As long as your message is consistent. Which for Eberflus it has been. But now you got to win. Luis says someone needs to get knocked the beep out. They do. They do. King Booker World says, hell yeah. We need Greg. Telling you, man, I love this team. And it's frustrating when you see what needs to be done and it's not being done, which is why I think Thomas Brown is going to have some success. My whole theory, when we're all in a secondary role, when we're not making the decisions, we are next to the person making the decisions, we can tell that was a good decision. That's a bad decision. Here's what needs to be done. Here's what needs to happen to fix this. Here's how we go about this the right way. We all see it. It's crystal clear to us. Crystal clear when we're not making a decision, isn't it? Crystal clear. So for 9 weeks, Thomas Brown has had that view, that vantage point, crystal clear of what needs to happen, how this offense needs to run, what they're doing wrong, what they need to do better, what they're doing good. They're doing well. He's had it right in his face. He's seen it. He just wasn't making the decisions. Now he is. Now he is. Can he do that? The one thing that I really want, I want them to open it up a little bit. And somebody talked about it, said Caleb is not, about his interceptions. Fuck his interceptions. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. Yeah, Shorty. So, yeah, Shawn, Caleb prides himself on not turning the ball over, but it's time to take more chances downfield. Yeah, don't worry about your damn interceptions. It's okay. It's okay. We need to get him back to the gunslinger he is. Because I'll tell you what, I know gunslingers will let you down sometimes, but gunslingers will keep you in every single God-blessed game. You got a puncher's chance with a gunslinger. It worked well for Aaron Rodgers. He won a Super Bowl. It worked well for Brett Favre. He won a Super Bowl. It's okay. This is the way Caleb plays. This is the way Caleb plays well. Let him do it. Reel him in a little bit. But man, Junior, you're right. Wilson threw interceptions last night, but they still won the game. Yes, they did. It's okay. Let people know that you're not afraid to unleash your quarterback. You unleash him. Let him play. Everybody's so worried about, and this is what they did with Justin. Everyone's so worried about, don't turn the ball over. 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 As opposed to make a play, make a play, make a play. And then when Justin did make a play, it can't be with your legs. Now it's got to be with your arm. But we're not going to give you receivers. Well, this quarterback has receivers. He's got a lot of good ones. Let him use them. DJ's tired of getting a goddamn ball at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. Roma Dunze, same thing. Send him up the sideline. Send him up the seam. Give me a deep in. You have the talent. Let these guys go to work. They said this, and this was the frustrating part all year. Remember, all off season. Hey, get the ball to your playmakers. Get the ball to your playmakers. Get the ball to your... Well, get him the goddamn ball and stop getting him the ball at the line of scrimmage. And don't tell me, well, you're still getting the ball. You're putting them behind the 8 ball. Although I will say this, the quick screens yesterday or last week worked a lot better with Thomas Brown calling them than they did all year with Shane Waldron calling them. DJ Moore had 16 yards on one quick screen? Like, what the hell? It's scheme. It seems like there's just not enough guys over there anymore. Enough defenders allowing us to get big plays. Dude, if we did anything more than 5 yards on a quick screen, I'm happy with. I'm happy with. Because it's first down, now it's 2nd and 5. Now your playbook's wide open. But get the ball to your playmakers. Why aren't you getting slants to Roma Dunze? Why aren't you getting slants to DJ Moore? Why'd you get slants to Keenan Allen? Why? These are the things that boggle my mind as well as the rest of Bear Nation. This is what you said they're going to do. Get the ball out of his hands quick. Tell him to rely on his teammates. Well, give him the opportunity to rely on his teammates. If you're going to do that short passing game, his steps is drop better be 1, 2, 3, throw. Simple. That's perfect on a slant. 1, 2, 3, throw. Because it's 1, 2, 3 plant on a slant. If you're a wide receiver, your left foot's up. If you're going to your right, if you're on the right side, your left foot's up. 1, 2, 1, 2. Your third step is your plant. You go. You go. The ball's coming out. You go get it. If you're on the left side, your right foot's up. Your first step with your left. 1, 2. Your third foot's your plant, and you go. Get these receivers the ball. Receivers, yes, they're divas, but man, they are good. Keenan Allen is good. We know DJ Moore is good. Roma Dunze, let him gain confidence in himself. And if Thomas Brown can do that, if he sticks to that and does that, this wide receiver room will make a lot of noise by the end of the season. Get it to them, let them make a play. Because they're all playmakers. Let's not forget Cole Kmet. You saw a lot of the passes that Caleb threw last week. Beautiful. Cole Kmet caught it right over his shoulder, extended arms, took him right out of bounds. Beautiful. Let's not go into the 3rd and 4th down to Roma Dunze. Beautiful. Cole Kmet, Roma Dunze, Keenan Allen. First down. Boom, gets another one. DJ Moore, like we've seen these throws. Let's get him consistent. Let's get him consistent, coach. Here's where you come in. You call those types of plays. Because if you keep doing that, guess what? Minnesota's going to have a tough time. Because you get him back 3 steps to throw, I don't care. You ain't getting him with a blitz. 3 steps and throw, you ain't getting him with a blitz. I don't care how quick the blitz is. And if we hit the receiver in the area where the blitzer came that he vacated, boom! Now it's a gut punch. Now it's a shot to the rib. Now you're like, oh shit, that hurt. Damn, they just got 24 on that one. Defensive coordinators don't like to give up plays more 20-yard plays or more. They don't like chunk plays. And I'm telling you, when you go early and you hit them with a chunk play, they reassess how they're calling the game. I'm telling you from experience. They reassess and they might say, okay, let me take another shot, but they're not going to do it right away. That's like in a fight. When you come through, you think you're going to beat this dude, and he comes and he tags you on the chin, like, oh, shit. Attack. Offense, defense, special teams, attack. If they do, the Bears have a good shot to win. If they don't, they got no chance. And I think they have a shot to win. I don't think they will, but I think they have a shot. My issues with the defense. They decide to run the ball down our throats. We are done. Especially if we get a pick early. If we get a pick early, that'll probably be the worst thing that happens to us because Minnesota's going to go into conservative. Okay, well, what are we going to do now? Sam Darnold, you know what? We're going to run the ball at the backup playing nose guard, inside zone. We're going to run right at these Bears. I'm telling you, if the Bears get an interception early, yes, they're going to be fired up. They might even score a touchdown. Wonderful. Watch Minnesota, how they change up their offensive play call. Start running the ball more. I hate to say it. Our prediction, the Bears lose 28-13. Might be 14, but 28-13. King Booker World says Bears need to score first. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And this is the first 15. Thomas Brown. I hope you're able. We got to get you proficient in your first 15. Got to get you proficient because it makes it so much easier when your defense goes out in the field after a touchdown and you're up 7-0. Whether it's the first drive or the second drive. Defense holds them, we get the ball, we score, defense goes back out, we're up 7-0. Man, let me just say, 2 hours is coming and going. I want to thank my guest, Chris Tubbs from WCCO Radio up in Minneapolis, coming on talking Bears-Vikings from a Minnesota perspective. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I love it. I appreciate you. All right. Great back and forth today. Great Bears talk. All right. I'm looking forward to Sunday. Sunday's game is, I'll be in the press box again. And looking forward to hopefully a Bears victory, hopefully a Bears upset victory. All right. And that's the thing. Like I see, this is why. You know, coaching matters. I don't see him. I see him lost the group, and I gave him a lot of credit. Remember, he had the room for a while. After the 14-game losing streak, you didn't hear spit come out of that locker room. Now, every other interview, someone's saying something damning about the coaching staff, about the staff. Every interview. But you can start to regain some of that trust by putting guys in good position to win. Putting them in good spots to win. And you have a chance on Sunday. Kickoff high noon. Guys, from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I appreciate the love and the support. Junior's like, good food up in the press box. It was better food last year. They redid. The new company is doing it. All right. So, there you go. There we go. Just want to say thank you to all my peoples. Sports Zone, I love you and appreciate you and your support. All right, so for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Guys, have a phenomenal weekend. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a little nippy, but that's okay. It's fall. Shit, we're to the end of October or November. So Thanksgiving's next week. Holy sheesh, that's Charlie. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, bang, bang, bang. Skeet, skeet, skeet. Holiday times are here. But again, for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Guys, have a phenomenal weekend. Make sure that you let your loved ones know you love them. All right? I tell you every day, tomorrow is promised to no one. All right? So again, I'm your boy, for everyone here, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Have a phenomenal day, phenomenal weekend. And I will see you on Monday.